Hi guys, I wanted to do this quick question and answer video for you. I did a makeup look that's dedicated to Mattia Joyce because I did it with a makeup palette that she recommended called Butt Naked Turn the Other Cheek palette by NYX, and it's a silvery smoky eye. It's kind of a fairy look because there's a lot of glitter, and I used the Berry Smoothie lipstick by Jared Cosmetics that also was recommended by Mattia. So this look is dedicated to her. And now I'll get to the question and answer video. Basically, the first question I was asked was, what is my favorite spirit animal? I was born on a Saturday, and the angel that is connected to Saturday is the angel that oversees the dolphins. And I can't think of his name, but he is the overseer of the dolphins, and it makes sense because I've always felt a really strong connection with dolphins because they represent humility, they represent intelligence, they represent humanity, and they are just amazing, amazing animals. So my favorite spirit animal would be a dolphin. Another question I got asked by Lucky Cats on Instagram is, what is my holy grail makeup for foundation? It's Hello Flawless by Benefit in the uh, fairest color because I'm very fair skinned. And for lipstick, it would be Wonder Child by Kat Von D. It's an indigo purple color because indigo relates to the third eye, which helps with my intuition, so it helps me with work. And then my favorite blush, it would actually be now the blush that comes with the Butt Naked Turn the Other Cheek palette by NYX. I love it right now. Mascara is Extend Lashes by MAC. That is the best mascara ever. And then I love the Marilyn Monroe by MAC Little Rock Clear Lip Gloss to go on top of any lipstick. So those are my must-haves. Oh, and for eye palettes, my favorite one is the original Naked palette by Urban Decay. Another question she asked is, if I was on a desert island, what would be 5 things I'd have to take? My kitty cat, who's right here, would have to go with me because she's my baby and I can't imagine being anywhere without her. And then the next thing would be my computer because I'd have to do YouTube videos for you guys and communicate with you guys and hopefully do readings via Skype. Somehow on this desert island, I'd rig something up because I love watching YouTube videos and doing readings, so I'd have to find a way. And then my makeup, the things that I mentioned, those favorite things in makeup, my phone and my headphones, because music is another must have for me too. So my kitty, my makeup, my computer, and my phone. So it wouldn't be much of a desert island situation then. I'm very much a techie person. I love social media. Even with the negativity that comes with it, I just love the fact that you can reach out and connect with people and hopefully be an inspiration for more people than you even know. Because that's the whole reason that I do this channel. Another amazing question I got asked was, have I ever been to the other side? I was really sick in 2007 and I had to have a hysterectomy, and it was very painful after the hysterectomy. I was extremely nauseous, and when you get sick, nauseous after having surgery on your abdomen, it's extremely painful. So I was trying to meditate to deal with that pain, and my blood pressure dropped a lot, like really, really low, so that the heart monitor that was on me started going crazy, and all the nurses rushed in and everything. Well, during that meditation, I don't think I went to the other side, but I definitely saw it. I saw a bright light, I saw a gate, and I felt extremely peaceful. And the next thing I know, I stopped meditating because everyone was freaking out and my blood pressure got too low. But that is the closest experience I've had of the other side. Another question I got asked was, what's one of the most extraordinary spiritual things that's happened? That was definitely one of them. Another one is one day I woke up to get ready to go to my doctoral program, and I told the gentleman who was driving me that we needed to go to school under the bridge that was over the highway. There was two different ways to go to school. One, you go under a bridge, one you don't, and or you go under a different bridge. And he told me, you're going to be late for school. This is the worst time to go to that bridge. And I basically said, no, we have to. And it turned out that there was a lady standing on top of the bridge wanting to jump. And we were able to call for help and help her. So that was amazing. Another really amazing thing that happens quite often is I have my bestie Jen, who you guys have seen in other videos, type for me when I do email readings at my blog. I basically dictate and she types, but everything's confidential because she signed a contract that she doesn't speak about any of my work. So don't worry about that if you get email readings. But sometimes she will say, okay, number 3 is, and before she reads me the question, I know the answer, and I start telling her the answer before she asks the question, and then she gets really shocked, and I start laughing because she's been working with me as my typist and editor for a long time, and she still gets really, really shocked when that happens. So that's one of the fun things that happens quite a bit. Another thing that I was asked is, what is this necklace? You guys have seen it in pictures and on videos. This is actually prayer beads that were given to me by my spiritual teacher or my guru, and she blessed them, and they're clear because they reflect the light and take in the light, and I wear them all the time for protection and to remind me to stay on my spiritual path. And that's what this is. And then these beads here are the guru beads for balance, the two darker beads. Another question I got asked was, do I communicate with my loved ones who've passed on? It's hard for me to do readings for myself, either psychic or mediumship, because when you're emotionally involved, it lowers your vibration and then it's harder to connect. But I have gotten readings from other mediums, and my aunts, who were very instrumental in raising me, are always there, and they're giving me advice for whatever I'm going through in my life, and they're always telling me how proud they are of me and just trying to help me with day-to-day things, and just letting me know that they're constantly there. But they both stand like soldiers behind me all the time, protecting me, because whenever I get a reading, they're the first ones that the medium usually sees. And then my grandma has just told me that she loves me, and that she's watching over me as well. And my mom, I actually communicate with quite a bit since she passed, because she's gone through a lot of healing and can see things differently now. And she also had the gift, which we had a very lengthy conversation about a couple days before her passing. And she was very proud that I was doing this work, and so she continues to help me with my readings now that she's passed. Another question I got asked is, how did I realize I was a spiritual person? My first spiritual experience happened when I was 4. I connected with my spiritual guide. Her name is Robin, and I connected with her when I was 4, and she looked very small to me because she didn't want to scare me. There were some scary adults in my life that time, and so she didn't want me to be afraid, so she appeared very small, almost like a fairy. And then when I wasn't scared, she showed her true size or her true self, because when you're in spirit or when you're a divine entity, you can basically materialize into whatever you'd like. And then she appeared very small, but that was my first spiritual experience. And then I just started knowing when certain things were going to happen. Like, I knew before somebody was going to say something, what they were going to say, or I knew who was calling on the phone, or I knew when there was going to be a surprise test at school. And I realized that other people didn't do that. So then one day when I was about 7, I saw my first person who had passed over. And basically I was on a walk, but in my wheelchair, and with an adult, with my grandma, excuse me, and I saw a little girl, and I said, "Oh, look at that little girl." And she said, "I don't see anyone." And I started describing her, and then she realized that I had the gift, and she told me that my great grandmother had that ability also. So it started developing or showing up when I was really young, and even though I was scared of it when I was little, um, I just learned to turn it down, so to speak, like you would the volume on a radio, and turn it down so I could function in day-to-day life without a problem. And then as I got older, learned when to turn it up and when to turn it down over time. But those were my first spiritual experiences. I asked my students who are also taking my online class what questions they would like to know, and one of the questions was, what is hell like, or what happens to people who do really bad things. And of course, I haven't been to the other side yet in this life, to fully be there, and I don't remember being there after my past life. So I can only tell you what I know from doing readings, and I've connected with spirits or individuals who've done really bad things, to help solve crimes and to help give certain family members that are here sometimes some closure. And I can only tell you what they've described to me, with their experiences on the other side. They don't ascend to the light or to heaven like someone else would right away, because they have to go through spiritual healing, and the timing of that healing depends on a lot of things. But basically, they're in like a waiting room. It was described to me like the waiting room of a doctor's office, and they have to sit there and wait. And basically, if they're forgiven for certain things by people who are still here, or they start to have an understanding of what they did was wrong, and and really see things differently, then their energy takes in more light, and then over time they can ascend to a more peaceful state, or to a like heaven state. But it depends on what they did and how much healing they have to do. That is the best understanding of hell that I know of. Another question I got asked was, do I believe in aliens? Yes, I do believe they exist. I don't think that they really show themselves because they're more evolved and they're different from us, so they would most likely want to, humans would want to study them or hurt them because they're different from us, so they stay away to protect themselves. But I do think they exist. I also believe in fairies. I think they exist too. I've never actually seen one, but I've seen pictures of them, and I believe they exist just like aliens, because I believe that God can create anything, and if so, why not fairies? So, and I've also been told by a really well-known healer that I'm considered the queen of the fairies, which means that when she was working on my aura or giving me healing, a bunch of fairies were close by. She saw them in her mind's eye. So I think that's true. Um, Another question is that I got asked is, if I could go anywhere in the world, where would I like to go? One of those places would definitely be California, because I love California and I feel very at home there. So anytime I could go back, I'd want to go back. The other one would definitely be Australia. I've been to Australia and I love it, so I'd love to go back. And I guess another place that I would love to go is Switzerland, just because I've heard it's gorgeous. So I'm interested in going there someday. Um, Another question I got asked is, what is my favorite gemstone? That would be an amethyst, because it's purple. It helps control intuition or bring in intuition. And amethyst also brings in the energy of Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is my go-to angel. He's the angel of protection, and he basically is a Renaissance angel. He can handle pretty much anything. So I love amethyst because it calls in his energy. Someone else asked me what's my favorite song right now. My favorite song would have to be King of Anything by Sarah Bareilles, because it talks about people having an opinion of you and not really paying attention to that, because who is it, or how is it someone else's business to tell you how to be or to make judgments on you? And since there's been some negativities about the fact that I like makeup, or about the fact that I'm a spiritual person that does spiritual work, that song has really been fitting for me lately. Someone else asked me, if I could do another occupation, what would it be? It would definitely be a singer. If I used to sing all the time, but I had to have surgery on my thyroid, and it changed my ability to sing. I can't sing as well. But I still like to sing, and maybe in my next life I'll be a singer and a dancer, because I have a huge passion for music and dancing. That's all the questions that I've gotten so far. Actually, there are a couple more, but I don't want the video to be too long, so I'll save them for another video. And ask me more questions, and I'll do another one like this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll vlog again soon. And the makeup look that I did is a silvery smoky eye with the Butt Naked Turn the Other Cheek palette from NYX, recommended by Mattia, like I said. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon. Until next time, love, light, and blessings. Bye!